Yo, what up, boxing fans? Your man Roberto Flack, and today I'm making this video from based on some news that we got today concerning Manny Pacquiao versus Mosley. Obviously, for those who've been hiding under a rock, that fight will be taking place May 7th, and it will be a welterweight fight. The big news that's really surrounding the fight for people who are more so boxing fans is that HBO's not covering this fight, and they Aram and Top Rank went over to Showtime, and Showtime, for those who aren't aware, they're owned by CBS. If you've noticed, those who follow MMA have seen the Strikeforce cards. You've seen them on Showtime, and then they've had ones with Fedor Emelianenko on CBS. So news got out today that the fight camps, the 360 shows that Showtime has been airing for the Super 6 tournament, they're doing obviously one for Mosley and Pacquiao, but they're going to be airing them on CBS first, and then they'll air them on Showtime. This is huge. This is really, really huge. One thing is that they're not showing the last episode on CBS. That'll be shown only on Showtime. I don't know why they did that, but this is really big. And the reason, obviously, is because this is the first time in quite a long time that a big fight, whether or not boxing fans want to call it a big fight or not, in the big scheme of things, it is a big fight. Is it going to be as competitive as a Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, or something of that nature? No, it's not. But this is it, and again, from the article I read today, this is really the first step, at least on the part of Top Rank and Bob Arum, where they're trying to approach the networks, the bigwigs, to get boxing back on network television. And this is something a lot of us have talked about because of the massive slew of pay-per-view that obviously wasn't created in this generation. I mean, pay-per-view started prior to this era, but the exposure of the sport has really been lacking because it's not on a broader scale like how it used to be. I mean, for people who that are between the ages of 16, 17 to maybe like 23, 24, don't remember fights on network TV. I mean, we have ESPN Friday Night Fights, which is, seasonal, but there used to be Tuesday Night Fights on USA. There used to be Wide World of Sports on ABC. And they weren't showing, no disrespect to anybody who fights on ESPN, but, obviously ESPN is showcasing a lot of up-and-comers, and then you'll have a fairly decent or pretty good main event. They were showing world-class fighters, man. They were showing the Leonards, the Haglers, guys that, we're talking about in this era. They were showing them on network television. Roy Jones on USA. I mean, this is a good first step to really put boxing back on the proverbial, world platform as far as television's concerned. They, again, we're very used to seeing most of the big fights on HBO and on Showtime. And that's really been happening in the last 10 years. And I believe that could still happen. But in order for the sport to really grow and to really nurture the casual fans with the rising stars that we have, like we have a main event, I don't even say main event, but we have a big fight coming up with Bradley and Alexander coming up in this weekend. Sorry if I'm predating the video. A fight of that magnitude for boxing fans, it's a big fight. The number 1, number 2, 140-pound fighter. Can you imagine that fight being promoted on network television? Like in the case where the ball was already rolling. I mean, and these are scenarios that can happen in the future as well with fighters that we're looking at now. Nonito Donaire, you know, the Juan Ma Lopez's, the Yorkis Gamboas. I mean, there's so much talent out there that, in my opinion, with the styles that a lot of these fighters bring, can really gear casual fans to like say, wow, they're showing boxing again on CBS, on NBC, on, you know, even USA. You know, this is a good first step, like, you know, like I've been saying. And again, though Pacquiao Mosley isn't like most skeptics would say, like the most challenging fight for Pacquiao, you know, Shane Mosley is still a name, and you have to think of the style that both guys bring. You know, Mosley's not fighting a boxer per se. You know, he's not fighting a guy who's gonna coast a little bit and take his time. I mean, Pacquiao's there to fight. He's a little more, you know, like I always say, you know, he's a little more patient, you know, prior to, you know, when he was fighting in the lower weights, but it still sets up for a lot of fireworks. And this is a fight really casual fans, in my opinion, are gonna buy into, especially it being aired on CBS. So again, this is great. To me, this is great news, man. I mean, I think or I hope that it is a success, because I think other promotions can really lead to getting, you know, some of their fighters, you know, some publicity, or even trying to, you know, and it's only going to help Top Rank too, because, you know, if Top Rank's doing the business with CBS initially, you know, other people are going to want to come and fight him, and, you know, he's got the leverage to say, okay, word. You know, and, you know, we don't know how long, obviously, Bob Arum's going to be here, but, not that I wish, obviously, anything to happen, but, again, this is great news, man. To me, I think this should follow more with other fights are going to be happening. I mean, can you imagine in the case where Pacquiao Mayweather gets signed, you're telling me that they're not going to approach this same idea? I mean, think about that fight already. In my opinion, he's probably going to do $2 million, you know, and I may be lowballing it. But you imagine that fight being promoted on network television and having a 360 or 24/7 or some type of show promoting the fight. Through the roof, man. Through the roof. So we'll see the test for boxing back on network television, so to speak, in the next couple of months. They begin in April. The beginning of April, I believe. Yeah, it's like a 3-4 week thing, and then we'll see the fight May 7th. So let me know what you think as far as, you know, this news is concerned. And as I always say, check out the podcast. Episode 11 is now up, as well as you can check on YouTube the boxing excerpt that we had, you know, during all our shows. I'm gonna be posting them on YouTube as well, but I encourage everybody to download the show if you're into dope hip hop. You know, it's crazy, and we just talk shit. So again, let me know what you think. Mosley Pacquiao, CBS, at least the fight camps, and we'll see what happens. So I'll be back. Peace.